Hi Aries, welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from the Heart. Sorry that the readings are a bit late this month. I've been extraordinarily busy and I actually have been quite ill as well. So yeah, I'm trying to get the rest of the signs done now. I think there's about 6 are already up and I've got 6 left to do. Along with personal readings. I'm getting on track now with all the personals that have been coming in. But yeah, thanks for everyone's support. Thanks for your likes, your shares, your subscribes. Thanks for everyone who had a personal reading with me. If you can't leave a comment because of your personal reading, guys, it's because the comment page on the website has been playing up for ages. And I've just been too ill to try and get onto the people to sort out, it out, which I am going to definitely do this week. Because it's important to have other people's comments on your website just to show how good you are at what you do. So, let's see what's coming in for Aries in April. Now, these energies might already be upon you. They might be passing through. Or they might still be yet to come. And as I say, with any of the readings that I do, Aries, you can always apply these energies to whatever's going on in your life currently, okay? So I'm just going to close my eyes. I'm going to get comfortable. And I'm just going to tune into the universe and say, Universe, Spirit, Angels, help me with this reading for the zodiac sign of Aries. What's coming in for Aries? Show me those born under Sun, Moon and Rising signs for Aries. What's coming in for the zodiac sign of Aries, Sun, Moon and Rising signs for April 2016? Show me the 2 top cards, which will serve as to be the general energy for the month. The bottom card, which will serve as the advice card or stroke overall theme. And the middle 8 cards that will show me the situations, people and events that are coming through. What's going in for Aries? Show me Aries in April 2016. Show me Aries. Show me Aries. Sun, Moon and Rising signs. Aries, 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 Sun, Moon and Rising signs. What's coming in for the zodiac sign of Aries? Show me Aries. Show me what's coming in for Aries, Sun, Moon and Rising signs in April 2016. What's coming in for those born under Aries, all Sun, Moon and Rising signs? Show me the 2 top cards to serve as the general energy. The bottom card to serve as the advice card. And the middle 8 cards that will show as the people, situations, events and influences around all those Aries, Sun, Moon and Rising signs for April 2016. Show me. Right, so I've meditated on the cards, Aries. Going to see what's happening here. Put the 2 top cards first. The bottom card is the advice. And the 8 cards in the middle to serve as the influences, people, situations, events coming in for you guys. Right, let's see what's what. Right, so, I mean, I've just turned over the, what I tend to do now is turn over the general energy and the advice cards. And sort of have a little chat about those first. And then sort of look into what I potentially see, you know, and just to see if the middle 8 cards really back up anything that I'm kind of seeing showing up in these general energy stroke advice cards. So, your 2 top cards are showing us the 8 of Pentacles and the Hermit. So I do feel, I mean, those 2 cards in terms of, you know, what they symbolise together is learning. Both of them. The Hermit is a card where we go inward, we seek clarity. It's about really getting to know ourselves. Usually that card can come up, especially if it's in a relationship reading, to, you know, if somebody asks me and they don't tell me anything. There's a lot of people that write to me at Carol's Universe and they, you know, tend to say what's happening in my love life. They won't say whether they're single or not. And if that card comes up in the present situation, it can usually mean that they're single. Number 9 is the card of solitude, solace, taking time out for ourselves. You get 9 of Pentacles. Usually it shows, if somebody asks me, you know, what does my love life look like in the next 6 months, and I get the 9 of Pentacles as an outcome, then I'll take that as an indication that that person's going to be getting to know who they are, working towards abundance for themselves. And and then from there they're able to attract love. But the nines usually don't indicate love. I mean, like being in a couple, it's usually somebody on their own. So there are also cards that are the rites of passage cards. Okay, so not rites of passage, they're usually a card, sorry, that indicates the ending of one cycle. Okay, so it's like when you're nearly coming near the end, it's like the testing card. I'm seeing for some of you guys, in terms of the Eight of Pentacles, this is, it could be education. I know this is quite mundane, because I know a lot of older people watch these videos, and they're not so much in education, but you can be educated at any age. So I see something that you're working towards, and you might be nearing the ending of a cycle with it. So it could be that you're finishing university. It could be that you're getting ready for the final test, which number nines often indicate the final test. It's the final cycle. It's usually with that Hermit card as well, it's researching. It's finding things out. So I'm seeing a lot of studying going on as the general energy for the month of April. Okay, so for some of you guys, it could be that you are literally swatting up for an exam. It could also be for some of you guys that you are learning something new. So for some of you guys, it could be the general energy is that maybe you've just got a new job, Aries, and you're working hard towards that. For some of you guys, the Eight of Pentacles can be one of those cards where it's about doing something over and over and over again. So I'm sensing that there might be some lessons for you guys to learn for some reason. I've just had in my ear lessons that you have to learn. And sometimes these are lessons that come hard to us because this guy on the Eight of Pentacles, he's repetitive. So it's a repetitive action that he's doing. And it's the more he does it, the more he gets the same. There's never any change within this card. Can you see that? Now, I'm looking at these Eight Pentacles and it seems 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there is a gap there for a seventh pentacle to go up. And then he has to pick up the eighth one. And it seems to me that he just repetitively works hard. Sometimes it's to no end with the Eight of Pentacles. Sometimes that card can show that you're working to no end. There's no, you know, there's nothing that you're really getting back from what you're doing. So it's a consistent roller coaster of doing the same thing over and over and over again, but there's no real joy or no real reward at the end. So for some of you guys, you might literally be examining what it is that you're doing. It could be in a relationship, it could be in a job, it could be, you know, I'm sensing here that there is the examination of what you're doing, because we have the Hermit card alongside and he's facing that Eight of Pentacles. So the Hermit, when you find the Hermit, if you look at this card, his head is against his staff. So this means this guy is really deep in thought. You know, he's really thinking, you know. He's trying to seek some wisdom on a situation. So for some of you guys, it could literally be you're consistently trying to find out what it is that you're here for, why it is that you're doing what you do, and if it actually serves any type of higher purpose. Okay? And as I said, for some of you guys, it's lessons that you need to learn. So maybe there's some sort of higher wisdom that you need to tap into in order to find out what it is, what type of patterns you may need to break in order to help you move forward. Because to me, the Eight of Pentacles is often a card about patterns. It's patterns of behaviour sometimes, because it just seems so, you know, consistent, like just something you do round and round and round and round, but there's not really any break with it. This guy just looks like he's hammering away. That's it. So sometimes to me, the Eight of Pentacles, especially when I'm looking at it with the Hermit, yes, it looks like education. Yes, it looks like learning, but we need to go deeper than that and deeper than what the cards really mean. Because we know that the Eight of Pentacles can be when you're going into new employment, when you're going into education, when you're learning a new skill, when you're applying the skills that you have from somewhere else into something else. We know that the Hermit is when we go inward to seek higher wisdom, when we're trying to clarify a situation, when we need to take time out for ourselves, when we're single, all of that. We know these things about these cards. So what is the deeper meaning of these cards? And as a tarot reader, if you're going to be a successful tarot reader, you need to look deeper into the cards, because if you just go with what the general meanings of the cards are, sometimes things will not literally match up. Those two cards to me match up in general meanings. But underneath it, I feel that this is something deeper for you guys. Yes, on the surface, looks like work, looks like a job, that type of thing. We'll examine it with the 8 cards anyway and see what comes up with them. But underneath, and really when we're looking in depth, I feel that this is a re-examination of who you are as people in the month of April. Aries, and especially I'm getting the sense that if you're over 40 or over 35 or something like that, it might be that you're re-examining the patterns of behaviour. It could be at any age, I guess, but I feel there's a certain age that you get to in life where you have to re-examine what you've done in order to, you know, because you get to a certain age, I guess, you get to your 50s, people who are in their 50s, their 40s, that type of thing, and you look back and you think, you know, well, what have I actually achieved? And are there any changes I can make? And I feel that you're going to be examining if they're going to be, if you need to make any changes, especially for you guys who are born in April, Aries people. I feel that you are going to be examining if there are changes that you need to make, because I am sensing that there is the need to break patterns of behaviour within this month. And the advice card is the Page of Pentacles. Now, if this is a case, I feel, of new opportunities opening up to you, and it could very well be that, because, as I've said, the Hermit is a learning card, and so is the Eight of Pentacles. And I'm sensing some new opportunities, and it's going to be an opportunity whereby you're going to really need to apply yourself, because the number 8s are about focus and application, and the Hermit is also the same card. He focuses very, very deeply. So I'm sensing that you're going to really need to focus on something new that comes into you. As an advice card, the Page of Pentacles is saying there's some good news coming in. So if you've been searching for a new job and you're waiting for that to come in, I do believe that April will be, because April is the start of the tax year. I don't know when the tax year starts in America or any other country, but in the UK, it's around the 6th of April that's the start of the tax year. It's when a lot of companies start hiring people in. Okay, so if you go to agencies, say for example you went to an agency for a job, you're looking for a job, the slowest time to work for, I used to work in recruitment, so I know that the slowest time to try and find work within an agency is between December and February time, I would say. Okay, those are really, really slow times. But you go from April onwards and things start to really, really pick up. April through the summer months, it's quite a good buoyant time for agencies to recruit new people. So I do feel that if you've been looking for work, now that we're coming into April, you're going to be finding it with this Page of Pentacles. Okay, it's good news usually when you get this card. And as an advice card, it says good news is coming to you. Also, the news could be with this as an advice card that there are windows of opportunity coming up. The other thing that this card I feel could be saying as an advice card is that you need to plan strategically. You need to be responsible for what you have, okay? And you are the one who is in control of your own existence. You are the one who is in control of where your life is going. You are the one who is in control of what little or how much you have. But you have to be responsible with your life and also with the things that you have. And that's why I feel that we have the energy of the Eight of Pentacles and the Hermit, which says to me that we are looking deeper at patterns of behaviour, because if we consistently repeat certain things and we never really evaluate them or look into them, it simply means that you can't grow. And the Page of Pentacles is a card of growth. So I feel that you have to examine what you have and who you are in order to grow as an individual. And that's what I'm seeing the correlation being between those three cards so far for April. Let's have a look what's going on within your 8 cards, Aries, for the month of April, and see if any of this kind of lines up or if it changes those energies slightly. Right, okay. So we've got 2 good cards that have showed up at first, the Star and the Hierophant. I do feel that there is something promising that's coming in for you. The Hierophant can often be, and again, these cards are higher wisdom cards. They really are. The Star card is when you're seeking higher guidance. So it could be guidance from the universe, from God, from angels. It's something that's otherworldly. So it's you know, you could be seeking wisdom from somebody who's in the know, somebody who's head of something. The Hierophant could often be somebody who's head of a corporation or who's head of a church, who's head of an establishment, because this guy here is in the know. He's the person that everybody goes to for some kind of advice. So for some of you guys, you are going to be seeking some form of advice, whether it be physical advice from a human being or advice from the higher realms, God, universe, angels, spirit, whatever. But I'm sensing here that there is some kind of going inward that you guys are trying to find. I really am with this. And I feel that, first of all, you'll go inward and you'll examine who you are, and then you will manifest that knowledge into your outer life in order to make changes, which we find with the Eight of Pentacles and the Hermit as your general cards, your general energy cards for the month, and the Page of Pentacles as the advice card for the month. This could also be, I feel, for some of you guys, an opportunity that comes, even if you're in a job at the moment, you might be looking at some form of a promotion, because the star card can literally mean that you are in the spotlight. There's something about you that puts you in the spotlight. Now, we don't have a Three of Pentacles here to say that you're being watched, or to say that you're being viewed by others, or to say that your skills are on demand, or, you know, you're in the spotlight as being shit hot at this, that and the other. But we do have the Hierophant, and this is somebody who decrees something. Okay, this is someone who decrees what is good and what is not so good, or what they find to be appealing or not so appealing. Okay, so the Hierophant to me is a speaker, he's a talker, he is someone who is at the top of his game as an individual. Usually as a person he would be a Taurus, astrologically wise. But he's also somebody who is, if you look at this card, sometimes he can be seen as somebody who's quite untouchable, or quite an authoritative individual. Okay, and he decrees stuff. So I feel here that there is something to do with your own success within a job. I'm sensing that with those two cards. I'm sensing that maybe you are in the spotlight, and maybe somebody's noticing this, and maybe you are being given an opportunity that you really need to work at. And maybe this is where the Page of Pentacles comes in, that there's some really good news coming for you. And maybe with that Eight of Pentacles, you're working really hard towards something, and with the Hermit, you really need to apply yourself and go deeper. Okay, so it's almost like it's nothing that you've done before, Aries. Okay, so it's almost like it's sensing to me, I'm feeling that it's more of like a notch up of where you've been. But also with the Star and the Hierophant, as I've said, these are kind of otherworldly cards. They're not just about human interaction with, you know, seeking advice, or being around people who are in the know, or people who are kind of shining, or people who are on a pedestal, that type of thing. It's literally whereby we are seeking some form of guidance. And I feel that if we were to look at this kind of on a more spiritual level, this is you guys seeking guidance about your life so far, seeking guidance about the things that you need to change, the alterations and the adjustments that you need to make in order to move forward. Because to me, the Eight of Pentacles can be, as I've said, repetitive actions, repetitive patterns of behaviour, and the Hermit seeks to clarify that and find out, why am I consistently doing this? It's almost like he's beating his head against that that stick, and he's saying, why am I consistently doing this? Why is this thing consistently happening? So I do feel that you are seeking clarity, and the Star card and the Hierophant are both cards about seeking some form of clarity. Your next two cards show up as, let's have a look, the Nine of Wands and the Two of Swords. That's an interesting coupling. As a pairing, they say to me a lack of trust for some reason. So this is how tarot readings can really start to change, because you get other cards and they start to change the flavour. So with all those, with the first two cards that I saw, I could see how they could kind of how they could kind of correlate with the Star and the Hierophant, and how they could kind of match up to bring a flow of a story. But the Nine of Wands now that's a card that's interesting, because it's another number 9, and it means that you're on the last cycle, the last test of something. Okay, and I feel that if we were to look at it in terms of maybe some potential developments happening maybe on the work front for you guys, I'm sensing that with the Nine of Wands, again, this is somebody who's in the spotlight. All right, this is, the Nine of Wands can mean when you actually stand out, but it can also mean about being in a testing situation and something that you really need to kind of apply yourself to. It can also mean that you stand out for all the wrong reasons, or it can mean that you are trying to fight for a cause. The Two of Swords is often where we kind of clam up or try to block things out, or we try and protect ourselves, and with both cards it suggests some form of protection. Okay, I'm just getting the feeling here that for some of you Aries people, I get the feeling that you're tired of a certain cycle. I just get that really mad feeling that for some of you guys, you really kind of, I get a sense of boredom, that you might be tired of a certain way of living, or a certain way of being. And it's really weird, because I'm looking at these cards and I'm seeing the guy on the Nine of Wands looking over at this guy on the Hierophant, and he looks really worried about the guy on the Hierophant. Look at these two cards together, it's really odd. Can you see how he's looking over? Now, I don't just do tarot readings, I do tarot interaction. So I often look at the way that cards interact with each other to give me a story. So for some of you Aries people, I feel that there's going to be a bit of trepidation. It could be the establishment that you work in. It could be a certain person within an establishment that you're around, okay? I feel that you might be trepidatious, and you might feel that you need to put your guard up around someone. I'm sensing that because I feel that this person might be protecting one person, or they might favour one person more than they favour you. And I feel that it might be a case that this has been going on for quite some time for some of you Aries people. Now, whether this is resonating with you or not, I don't know. But I'm just sensing this. I'm sensing that somebody is favoured more, as in the Star card, and somebody is favoured less, as in the Nine of Wands. And I feel that this is you guys for some reason. And I feel that you're very on your guard, and there's a lack of trust happening here with this Hierophant. Okay, so we're changing the story slightly. On the one hand, some of you guys are going to be looking at promotions. Okay, you might be favoured. All right, I'm sensing here. Okay, so there might be some really deep application, some deep focus that you need to put towards a particular opportunity that's come your way. All right, which is why we have the Page of Pentacles. You're going to be getting some good news. For some of you guys, it could literally be, I feel, with that Eight of Pentacles and the Hermit showing as your general energy, that you are tired of a certain pattern that maybe it keeps reoccurring within your life. Maybe you go into certain jobs and you keep doing the same thing after the same thing after the same thing. And you're tired of it. So really what you want to do is take yourself back. Now, I can see the correlation between the Hermit and that Two of Swords, because both cards suggest somebody who needs to kind of, if we're looking on a spiritual, deep down, base level, you know, what does a Hermit do? It kind of removes itself from society, or it removes itself from a certain group, or it just removes itself entirely in order to gain some greater clarity. And this is what this person does on the Two of Swords. This isn't just about denying your feelings about something. This can be a card of literally where you put up... the Two of Swords is a complicated card in a way, because in the one way, it looks like somebody's completely trying to defend who they are. In another way, this card can be a card of accepting that you need to block something out in order to feel good about yourself, in order to understand it, and in order to kind of break the bond of something, if that makes any sense to you. This is why this Two of Swords is often seen as the truce card, okay? It's where we come to an understanding and we can then just say, okay, this is where we leave it, this is where the buck stops. And I feel the buck stops with you somewhere, with someone. And I feel that this person might be a cause of some difficulty for you, and this is why you may be looking as the Hermit over at the Eight of Pentacles and feeling to yourself, this pattern has got to stop, or this difficulty has got to stop, or this same pattern of behaviour, or this person, I need to kind of take some time out of them, because it just feels like there is a cycle that is reoccurring within this relationship. Could be work, could be relationship, that needs to kind of be put an end to. And the end comes with this Two of Swords, because someone, I feel it's you, that you might be blocking someone or something out. And the Nine of Wands looking over at that Hierophant says you don't trust it. You don't trust this person who kind of puts themselves maybe on a pedestal, who kind of puts others on a pedestal and seeks to kind of say, this is good and this is not so good. So when I said at the beginning of the reading, Aries, if this is making any sense to you and you're following this, I said that the Hierophant can be someone, I feel, who really, I mean, you look at this clothing that he's got on. It's very regal. And he really does put himself in a place of prominence, the Hierophant does, because he is talking down to two people who are looking up at him like this, like, you are Lord and Master, and everything you say we follow. Okay, nobody questions him. They're not questioning this guy. They're just looking at him from the outside and saying, yes, this guy's the business. He knows what he's saying. That's it. This is why the Hierophant often, I feel, can be a card of not questioning things and just doing things because it's conventional and it's establishment and it's the norm. But who's to say who's right and wrong? This is why you get the Hierophant when you get things like corporate environments or corporate organisations. Because what it simply means is, within a corporate organisation, I've worked in a corporate organisation. Sorry, I've got something here that's about to go off. And I can't find my thing to take it off. One moment, let me just see if it's on the bed. There it is. So I record, I link up my big TV to the laptop. And sometimes it says 5 minutes before it shuts down, so I need to press something. Anyway, I feel that you're sick of some form of establishment. If it's not a person, Aries, I feel that it's an establishment. I feel it's a certain way of doing something. And it could be with the Star card, you've achieved some form of clarity on that. And with the Hermit card. And the Eight of Pentacles, it's the same sort of thing as the Hermit, if we looked at it in terms of an energy. Because the energy of the Eight of Pentacles says, this is a process. This is the way something is done. And it's always done like this. So we always churn out the pentacles. One after the other. One after the other. One after the other. And nothing really changes. Same thing with the Hierophant. Process. Norms. Being adherent. Being a robot at times. Doing things that you have to do. Because the government or education or the church says that you have to do it. Without questioning it, you just do it. But it's being questioned because the guy on the Nine of Wands is looking over at the Hierophant and he's saying, I'm actually questioning you. I'm actually questioning you. These two idiots on the bottom here aren't questioning you. They listen to everything that you say. Oh, where am I? Oh, here we go. I listen to everything that you say. They're not questioning a thing you say, but I'm questioning it. I'm actually questioning you. I'm looking over at you and I'm saying, I don't really agree with what you're doing. So therefore, there has to be a line now that is drawn. And this is why I feel that the energy so far is more saying that you are assessing patterns, values, things within your life that need to change. Because you no longer, I feel, Aries, for some of you guys, want to stay within the norm. Or want to stay within the certain way that things are done. And this is why we've got the Page of Pentacles also. Because now it's re-evaluating things. This Page of Pentacles can be a card of literally, realistically looking at something that you have and saying, okay, what direction can I take this in? So for some of you guys, it might be leaving a job. You might be leaving a very secure job. You might be leaving something that you no longer feel fulfills you on a spiritual or emotional level. It might fulfill you to a certain extent financially. But it could also be a case of that maybe, for some of you guys, somebody gets the lion's share and you get very little. It could be anything here. But one thing I feel with this reading so far is you're looking to leave something that doesn't fulfill you. And you're looking to go on a different journey and a different path. Because I feel that my two key cards in this reading so far are the Hierophant and the Nine of Wands. And the way that guy on the Nine of Wands looks over at the Hierophant is very suspiciously. He doesn't trust it. The two people at the bottom of the Hierophant card are holding on for dear life to everything that this man says. But we've got the rookie here. We've got the maverick who says, no, no. I don't actually want to be conventional. And I don't want society to tell me that I've got to be conventional. So therefore, I'm setting boundaries around this. And this is why I feel with the Hermit and that Eight of Pentacles, you're looking at something that has been consistently done. Consistent patterns or rules or whatever it is that you've had to live by, and you're questioning it. And you're looking with the Page of Pentacles, the advice says, look at what you have, look at the options. Look at them realistically and look what you have to work with, and then make final decisions. Your final cards. So let's have a look at the first two. Ooh, lovely. Absolutely lovely. Ten of Swords shows. The Ten of Swords is often the card where we can be stabbed in the back, we can be betrayed. But it's also a card where, you know, it's twofold really. In the one hand, with the Ten of Swords, it's feeling a sense of mental overwhelmment. So literally, if I get this card, if somebody asks me how is my love life going to go, and I get this card in the centre of the reading, I know that this person is still feeling some very strong effects from something that's happened. So they've not got anybody in their life, but that Ten of Swords shows up in the centre of the reading. It can mean two things. It can mean that they're literally getting over the worst of something, or they're still in it. Either way, that thing is still with them. That betrayal, that hurt is still with them. So for some of you guys, it could be that something to do with this Hierophant has hurt you. There's something to do with this Hierophant where everybody says that this person's the dog's bollocks, that this person is marvellous, that this person is right, but you know otherwise. Because you've had the effect of this Ten of Swords and you're trying to come through it. We've also got the Knight of Pentacles, and I've always been troubled with the Knight of Pentacles because the Knight of Pentacles can mean so many things. Usually, knights are usually action cards, okay? They can be people, yes, definitely, because they're court cards. But I usually read them a lot of the time as an action that somebody takes. And I feel that this Ten of Swords is whereby the worst of a situation you're feeling is over. Because the Nine of Wands, to me, says, I'm on the last testing cycle of this journey. All right? And now I know what I know, I can move. And this Ten of Swords says, the worst is kind of over, because we do have the Star card there. The Star, wherever you get a Star card as well. If this isn't somebody represented in this reading, then this card says that there is some very positive energy around you, because you are finding that clarity that you are seeking, Aries. And with the Ten of Swords, it says the worst is over. So those two cards together are pretty damn good, I feel. The Knight of Pentacles coming out of that Ten of Swords, for me, says, now I can start to rebuild. I feel that you guys are looking to rebuild something within your life. Now, the Knight of Pentacles moves slowly. So this is, I feel, something that has been thought about. This is a process that maybe some of you guys have been through. And now you are looking to move slowly, methodically, responsibly towards something new. Let's have a look at the final two cards. Yeah, okay, that's really interesting. We have the Seven of Wands here, and also the King of Pentacles. I feel that you guys, for some of you guys in April, I feel that this is an energy, it's either around you or it's phasing itself out. There has been some struggle here, I feel. There has, okay? But your struggle is not in vain, because the King of Pentacles says that success is assured and it's reached for you, okay? I am sensing some real, and this is some real sort of tardy, difficult energies in this reading, Aries. It really is. But it's almost like you take a difficult path to a realization. You take a difficult path to some form of clarification, because there's something or someone you don't trust. And you've experienced it. I feel that a lot of you guys have experienced this distrust with this person. And therefore, you are seeking now to move out of this energy. Okay? Now, for some of you guys, the Knight of Pentacles could be a friend. It could be somebody, because he's usually faithful and loyal. And I can see that he's offering a pentacle, if you look at this, over to the guy on the Seven of Wands. So it's almost like he wants to offer you some assistance. Can you see those two cards together? So when you get a Knight of Pentacles, sometimes this can be assistance that is being offered. Okay? I feel that for you guys, and it's a really interesting reading, Aries, that I'm seeing here. But what I'm seeing is new hope. I'm seeing that you're looking to definitely, for some of you guys, break a pattern that is no longer serving you. I'm seeing new opportunities that are coming in with that Page of Pentacles. Okay, I'm seeing that you're striving, because the Seven of Wands is often the card of striving for something. All right, when you get this card, it's about a guy who is he's not on even footing. Okay, so he's trying to hold his own. He's trying to stay confident around something. So for some of you guys, it could literally be that you've been fighting establishments, or you've been fighting people who are more powerful than you are. For some of you. But I see this more as you're striving for success, because the Seven of Wands is the card of striving and the King of Pentacles is the card of success. I feel that you're looking to leave behind a situation that you have been very, very wary of, that you have been very suspicious of, that you haven't trusted. And I feel that you literally put the blinkers up in April and you say, you know what? I've got to reevaluate my life. I've got to reevaluate this. I've got to reevaluate the patterns of behaviour that I have been experiencing and perhaps being given out. And I need to change certain things in my life and welcome in new opportunities. This is what I'm sensing from your reading. I'm sensing real clarification. With the Star and the Hierophant card, this is both cards about seeking clarification. So I'm sensing that with you, okay? With that Nine of Wands facing the Hierophant, I feel that you're aware of something. You have a heightened awareness of a situation or of a person who may seem one way, but to you, you see another, because you see clearly on this. And this is why you put your boundaries up with that Two of Swords. It's the truce card, but it's the truce within you. Sometimes when we see something, we know it, we accept it, we can then move on. The Ten of Swords says to me that this might have been a very difficult situation. Maybe there was some kind of, I don't know how you would explain it, some kind of very underhanded. The Ten of Swords can be an underhanded card as well. Underhanded behaviour, maybe somewhere where that you worked. But there's clarity on this now. But the Ten of Swords also says that you're over the worst. And I feel that you're getting over the worst because the Knight of Pentacles leaves that Ten of Swords and says, okay, let's start again. This is another slow journey. Knight of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands are both cards of striving. They're both cards of being courageous, but they're both cards of working hard. They're both cards of working hard. Because the Seven of Wands, guys, sometimes you can get that in a reading when you are faced with a lot of competitions. For example, something like going for job interviews and there's lots of other people who are vying for the same job. You can get it in a reading when you can see a man who's got a lot of female admirers or vice versa. Female with a lot of male admirers. It's always the card of striving and struggling and fighting things off. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight in the tarot. That's why they call him the doddering knight, because he just takes so long with everything. But in the end, he knows he's going to reach his goal. So those two cards together say that you are working slowly and methodically towards achieving a goal. The King of Pentacles says that you achieve your success and you achieve the outcome. So for some of you guys, if this has been an energy that's been going on for a while, you will get some good news hopefully in April, because the Page of Pentacles says there's good news for contracts coming in, new jobs, potential promotions. But this is also the card of working hard and taking responsibility for what you have and moving forward with it. And this is why I feel with all this reading, when we saw the first two top cards, it said reevaluation to me. Reevaluation a pattern, reevaluating a pattern, reevaluating the way that we do things over and over again to no outcome, nothing positive. You always do what you always done, you always get what you always got. Simple as that, Aries. So I feel that there's real kind of moving out of what you have known before into something better. And yes, the journey is long and it's hard, but you achieve success with the King of Pentacles in the end. This is an exceptional reading, Aries, okay? It's a slow burn. I feel it's a slow burn. I feel it's been a slow burn for some of you guys, but I feel that you definitely get there in the end. Absolutely marvellous reading. I'm sensing a lot of reevaluation with you guys, and you're definitely, to me, it looks like you're blocking someone out. You don't like someone here. You might have been fighting some form of establishment here. Fighting some sort of bullshit from someone. But in the end, it looks like you're over the worst and you're kind of like, you know what? I don't need this. So I'm just going to kind of move on from it. Okay. That is your reading, Aries, for the month of April. I would like to say thank you very much for joining me on Carol's Universe. And I will speak to you guys soon. If you'd like a private reading with me, go to my website. All the details are below. And thank you for your time, guys. Take care.